Good evening. I'd like to call to order the City Commission meeting this the 25th day of November at 6 p.m. Can I have a roll call, please?
Yes, Commissioner Dollison, Commissioner Mercer.
Here.
Commissioner Danzler,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Yates,
Here.
and Mayor Birdsong.
Here. We will be led in the Pledge of Allegiance by LaToya Harris, the Deputy City Clerk, and our invocation will be delivered by Demetrius Phillips from the Bridge Church. Would you please come forward? Please stand if able.
All right, Lord, we thank you for who you are and just for your goodness. And I just pray for our leaders of the city. Pray that you would give them wisdom far beyond their years, give them a heart of understanding and eyes to see what needs to be seen. And you'll get the glory for that. In Jesus' name, amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have no presentations. We have no developments of notes. Commissioners, you have the minutes.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
motion to approve 3 sets of minutes this evening from October 14th, October 22nd, and October 23rd.
Thank you. I will close the commission meeting, open the public hearing, and when wishing to speak to any of these minutes may do so at this time. Seeing none, close the public hearing, reopen the city commission meeting. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposes by the same sign. Hearing none, the minutes are adopted. Comments from the audience, we have Savannah Hancock and would like to speak on 12B, so when we get to that item, I will call you forward. Is there anyone else that would like to address this commission that didn't sign up? All right, we'll move right along. So we have ordinance second reading, public hearing, O-2449. Would you read by title only, city attorney?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Commission ordinance number O-24-49, an ordinance amending ordinance 23-25, the 2035 Winter Haven Comprehensive Plan 2035 Future Land Use Map Series by revising the Future Land Use Map Series by assigning primary mixed-use hub future land use to one annexed parcel, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for the administrative correction of scrivener's errors, providing for severability, and providing an effective date. The general location, 250 Cypress Gardens Boulevard. The area covered by this request is 0.89 plus or minus acres. Thank you.
Thank you, city manager. We've had this at least a couple of times. Is there anything you want to add, or?
Just that O-2449 and O-2450 are assigning land use and zoning to a parcel that was annexed. So there's been no changes since first reading. Staff recommends City Commission approve at this time O-24-49 on second and final reading. Thank you.
Commissioners?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
motion to approve the ordinance O-2449 on second reading and public hearing.
Thank you. I will now close the commission meeting, open the public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak to ordinance O-2449 may do so at this time by coming forth, stating your name and address for the record. Seeing none, close the public hearing, reopen the city commission meeting. Is there any discussion?
Quick question, Mr.
Yes.
T, have y'all made any progress with DOT on that, coming out of that, I know this is not this issue, but it's seeing on Cypress Gardens Boulevard, the road coming out from Gold's Gym there that we talked about, I'm trying to remember the name of it.
Roosevelt Drive, that's later in the agenda when we do the complete street. Talking about with the potential for changes there. I've not had any conversations with them since last Wednesday, no, sir.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposes by the same sign. Hearing none, O-2449 is adopted. O-2450, would you read by title only, city attorney?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ordinance number O-24-50, an ordinance amending Chapter 21 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Winter Haven, Florida by assigning Commercial Highway C3 zoning district to an annexed parcel, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for the administrative correction of scrivener's errors, providing for severability, and providing an effective date. General location, 250 Cypress Gardens Boulevard. The area covered by this request is 0.89 plus or minus acres. Thank you.
Thank you. City Manager?
Mayor and Commissioners, O 2450 is the companion ordinance that addresses zoning. There have been no changes since first reading. Staff recommends approval of O 2450 on second and final reading. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioners?
Mayor?
Yes.
Motion to approve ordinance O-24-50 on second reading.
Thank you. I will now close the commission meeting, open the public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak to O 2450 may do so at this time. Seeing none, close the public hearing, reopen the city commission meeting. Any discussion, questions? All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposed by the same sign. Hearing none, O 2450 is adopted. O 2451 would read by title only, City Attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ordinance number O-24-51, an ordinance amending ordinance 23-25, the 2035 Winter Haven Comprehensive Plan, 2035 Future Land Use Map Series by revising the Future Land Use Map Series by assigning Neighborhood Support Future Land Use to one annexed parcel, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for the administrative correction of scrivener's errors, providing for severability, and providing an effective date. General location of parcel generally located north of Highway 540 West, east of King Road, and south of Cross Tower Drive. The area covered by this request is 1.19 plus or minus acres. Thank you.
Thank you. City Manager?
Mayor and Commissioners, ordinance 2451 and 2452 are aligned with the assignment of land use and zoning for a parcel that was annexed on May 13th, 2024, as depicted on your image. There's been no changes since first reading. Staff recommends City Commission approve ordinance O-24-51 on second and final reading. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioners?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
motion to approve ordinance O-2451 on second reading and public meeting.
Thank you. I will now close the commission meeting, open the public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak to O 2451 may do so at this time. Seeing none, close the public hearing, reopen the city commission meeting. Is there any discussion, questions, concerns? All those in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposes by the same sign. Hearing none, O 2451 is adopted. O 2452, would you read by title only, City Attorney?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ordinance number O-24-52, an ordinance amending Chapter 21 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Winter Haven, Florida, by assigning Commercial-Highway C3 zoning district to an annexed parcel, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for the administrative correction of scrivener's errors, providing for severability, and providing an effective date. General location of parcel generally located north of Highway 540 West, east of King Road, and south of Cross Tower Drive. The area covered by this request is 1.19 plus or minus acres. Thank you.
Thank you. City Manager?
Mayor and Commissioners, ordinance O-24-52 assigns the zoning for that same parcel. Staff recommends, with nothing being changed since first reading, that this be approved by the commission on second and final hearing. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioners?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Motion to approve ordinance O-24-52 on second reading.
Thank you. I will now close the commission meeting, open the public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak to O 2452 may do so at this time. Seeing none, close the public hearing, reopen the city commission meeting. Is there any questions, concerns, discussion? All those in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposes by the same sign. Hearing none, O 2452 is adopted. Would you, O 2455, read by title only, City Attorney?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ordinance number O-24-55, an ordinance extending the corporate limits of the city of Winter Haven, Florida, so as to include therein additional territory lying contiguous and adjacent to the present boundaries of the city of Winter Haven, Florida, describing said additional territory, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for the administrative correction of scrivener's errors, and providing an effective date. General location, 75 Sage Road. The area covered by this request is 8.64 plus or minus acres. Thank you.
Thank you. City Manager?
Mayor and Commissioners, this is a annexation ordinance. There have been no changes since first reading. Staff recommends Commission approve ordinance O-24-55 on second and final reading.
Thank you. Commissioners?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
motion to approve ordinance O-24-55 on second.
Thank you. I will now close the commission meeting, open public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak to O 2455 may do so at this time. Seeing none, close the public hearing, reopen the commission meeting. Is there any discussion, concerns, or questions? All those in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposes by the same sign. Hearing none, O 2455 is adopted. Commissioners, you have the consent agenda.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes,
motion to approve the consent agenda in its entirety.
thank you. I will now close the commission meeting, open the public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak to the consent, any item on the consent agenda may do so at this time. Seeing none, close the public hearing, reopen the city commission meeting. All those in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposed by the same sign. Hearing none. The consent agenda is adopted in its entirety. Resolutions. Resolution R 2452. Would you read, City Attorney?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Resolution R-24-52, a resolution of the City of Winter Haven, Florida, appointing a member to the Affordable Housing Advisory Committee, providing for severability, providing for repeal of conflicting resolutions, and providing for an effective date. Thank you.
Thank you. City Manager?
Mayor and Commissioners, this ordinance appoints a member to the Affordable Housing Advisory Committee. As you know, one of your members must be a citizen who actively serves on the local planning agency pursuant to Florida statutes. Ms. Elizabeth Davis was that designee and has earlier this fall submitted her resignation from the Planning Commission, which left that seat vacant. So at their November 5th, 2024 regular meeting, the Planning Commission approved Ed Smith, one of their their current members, to fill that seat. So that is the purpose of this resolution.
Thank you. Commissioners?
Can I get clarification for you?
Sir?
You said it had to be a citizen. Does he has to be within the city limits?
Eric, I'm going to defer to you on that.
That's been largely ruled with respect to the AHAC, that it's a citizen of the county, not necessarily a citizen of the
Okay.
of the
All right.
city.
I just wanted to clarify that. Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
motion to approve Resolution R-24-52.
Thank you. I will close the commission meeting, open the public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak to Resolution R 2452 may do so at this time. Seeing none, close the public hearing, reopen the city commission meeting. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposes by the same sign. Hearing none. R 2452 is adopted. Okay, now we're moving into our ordinances for first reading. There will be no vote tonight. The second reading will be on December the 9th. All right, so O 2453, would you read by title only, City Attorney?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ordinance number O-24-53, an ordinance amending Chapter 21 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Winter Haven, Florida, by rezoning one parcel from Plan Unit Development PUD zoning district to single-family residential-large lot R-1 zoning district, providing for the administrative correction of scrivener's errors, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, and providing an effective date. General location, 4020 Country Club Road South. The area covered by this request is 6.02 plus or minus acres. Thank you.
Thank you. City Manager?
Mayor and Commissioners, Paul William Schultz Revocable Trust is requesting the city rezone a portion of a parcel from Planned Unit Development Zoning District to Single-Family Residential Large Lot R1 Zoning District. The area subject to this request is a portion of PUD Ordinance O20-19, approximately 6.02 plus or minus acres, and it contains the vacant Outback Oasis event venue and associated pavilion, restrooms, and pond. O20-19 allows for up to a 5,000 square foot event venue or clubhouse, which was depicted in the conceptual plan of the subject property. The petitioners are proposing to remove that commercial use and intends to develop the approximately 6.02 plus or minus acre parcel with estate-sized lots comparable to the surrounding parcels. Based upon the acreage, the theoretical maximum of 18 single-family units could be developed. However, when development standards, infrastructure requirements, and the existing pond are considered, it would be unlikely for the subject property to be developed at the maximum permitted density. All of the other adjacent property not subject to this zoning request shall remain subject to the PUD zoning request established by Ordinance 2019. There is sufficient potable water, wastewater, and roadway capacity available to support the maximum potential development of the subject property under the requested zoning designation. However, that concurrency determination is not made until the property receives site plan and is developed. Based upon the maximum potential of up to 18 single-family units, from a school standpoint, it could require up to 4 elementary, 2 middle, and 3 high school seats. All notifications were met for this. There's no direct financial impact to the city. This is a routine action of the City Commission. It is not aligned with any specific goal or strategy within the strategic plan. However, it is aligned with economic sustainability strategic pillar. Planning Commission did hear this on November 5th and voted to recommend approval of the request. There were no members of the public who spoke. Based upon the following conditions, staff is going to recommend approval of O2453, those conclusions being that the zoning district is compatible with the immediate surrounding uses and also the city designations in the Country Club Road corridor. The R1 zoning district is consistent with the neighborhood suburban future land use assigned to the property, and the request will likely result in a potential decrease in public infrastructure demands by removal of the commercial event venue clubhouse. So staff is recommending that this be advanced to second reading on December 9th.
All right. Okay, even though we are not going to vote tonight, if there's anyone from the audience that would like to speak to this particular ordinance, you may do so at this time. Thank you. All right, ordinance O2454, would you read by title only, City Attorney?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ordinance number O-23-57, which established the Peace Creek Village Community Development District to expand the boundaries of the Peace Creek Village Community Development District pursuant to Chapter 190, Florida Statutes 2024, providing for severability, providing for repeal of conflicting ordinances, providing for administrative correction of scrivener's errors, and providing for an effective date. Thank you.
Thank you. City Manager?
Mayor and Commissioners, the Peace Creek Village Community Development District, or CDD, has filed a petition to expand the boundaries. The CDD was established October 23, 2023, and presently consists of approximately 95.38 plus or minus acres. The Annabelle Estates subdivision, totaling 324 building lots and 12 common lots, is located within the CDD and is presently under construction. The proposed expansion of the CDD is located south of Old Bartow Lake Wales Road and west of Old Bartow Road and contains approximately 84.75 plus or minus additional acres. The area will be developed as the Reserve at Lake Parker subdivision with approximately 366 building lots. With inclusion of this expanded area, the total area of the CDD will be approximately 180.13 plus or minus acres. The CDD consists of a 5-member Board of Supervisors known as the CDD Board, which has the authority to oversee the installation of infrastructure improvements, secure financing, and to levy non-ad valorem special assessments on future property owners within its boundaries. The petitioner has submitted a statement of estimated regulatory costs for the CDD expansion area. Statement indicates the total infrastructure costs are estimated at $16,312,557 and will be financed through district bonds. The City of Winter Haven will not incur any costs relating to the establishment of the CDD, nor will any debts incurred by the CDD become debts of the city, the county, or the state. The CDD will not have any effect on the bonding capacity of the city, county, or state. Water, sewer, and reuse infrastructure will be maintained by the city, while all internal roadway and drainage infrastructure will be maintained by the CDD. In the event that the CDD is terminated, the city will not be required to accept ownership or maintenance of road rights-of-way, stormwater management and drainage systems, and street lighting without express written consent. The petitioner is requesting consent to exercise special powers relating to the provision of parks and facilities for indoor and outdoor recreation, cultural and educational uses, and security. There's no direct financial impact to the city with this request. The staff recommends the City Commission approve ordinance 24-54. Thank you.
All right, thank you. This ordinance will be read for a second time at our December the 9th meeting. We will not be voting tonight. There was one person that signed up to speak to this ordinance, Could you come forth now and state your name and address for the record? Savannah
Hancock.
Hancock.
Yes, sir. My name's Savannah Hancock. My address is 517 East College Avenue in Tallahassee. I am here on behalf of the petitioner and would be happy to answer any questions that the board has on this amendment.
Any questions? Don't have any.
Great. Y'all have a
Thank
great
you.
week.
All right. New business. City manager?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Our new business item this evening pertains to the Grant and Aid Application Review Committee's recommendations for the fiscal year 26 cycle. As I mentioned during our workshop agenda, the committee met on November 1st to discuss the 2024 process that was included in the current year's budget. This meeting was noticed by the city clerk, and all committee members were in attendance. The committee voted unanimously to recommend the following changes. To first allow for an opportunity for applicants to submit corrections if any were not met. This would consist of a 2-week application window, a 2-week sufficiency review period for staff, and then 2 weeks for the applicants to correct any errors within those applications. The second recommendation is to eliminate the opportunity to request the $40,000 single initiative funding category, as that has not been something we've been able to accommodate. The third item recommendation is a request of clarification from the City Commission on how to address funding requests from schools and other organizations with established foundations. And the final recommendation was to request clarification from the City Commission on their desires regarding funding levels for what we have designated as our legacy agencies prior to that next review cycle. And as I mentioned the other night, I believe the best way to tackle that fourth one is that we will discuss that with you as we are preparing to do our training. They would still go through the process, they would still submit an application, but if we intend to maintain those at those higher levels, those are some agencies that we have historically been funded. We can factor that into how the Grant and Aid Review Committee considers those, and then how they consider the funding for the rest of the agencies. At this point, staff recommends City Commission approve the first two recommendations, and as I said, provide direction on how to proceed with the schools and other foundations prior to the next application training. And those dates will be set for January 2025 and probably early February 2025. And then also, at that point, provide that direction on those legacy applicants for upon future receipt of applications from those agencies.
Okay, we had some discussion at the workshop. So I guess my question is, instead of doing it tonight, did we have an additional discussion at our next workshop?
Okay. On those other two, you're talking about?
Yes, on the other two items.
Okay. Are you good with voting on the first two recommendations in there?
Yes.
Okay.
We can vote on the first two, and then the additional two after more discussion, because we just had a brief discussion about it.
And we can, and even if you don't want to do that in your December meeting, we can do that in January. You're going to have a pretty heavy agenda in December, I can tell you right now.
Okay,
So-
let's just do it in January.
Okay.
I would like to do that when all commissioners.
Certainly understand. Appreciate that.
Commissioners, is that agreeable?
Yeah, so you need a motion on the first two items?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Motion to approve the first two items listed on the Grant and Aid Application Review Committee recommendations for the fiscal year 26 cycle. One being update the application timeline to allow for an opportunity for applicants to submit corrections if any requirements were not met, and to also eliminate the $40,000 single initiative funding category.
All right. I will close the commission meeting, open the public hearing to allow anyone from the public that would like to address us on this item. Would you please come forward, state your name and address for the record? You have 5 minutes.
Hi, My name is Victoria Del Castillo, 217 Central Avenue West, Winter Haven, Florida. I just had a question regarding this. I understand it's for fiscal year '26. These grants and aid applications are for the capital investment fund?
For what?
Which fund does it come out of, the operating budget or the capital investment fund of Winter Haven?
This comes out of the general fund,
Okay.
the operating budget. This is grant and aid funding that goes to Winter Haven-based nonprofit agencies.
Okay, and what is the budget this year?
That will be determined by the city commission at the point that we prepare to consider those applications. Last year, it was a budget of, I believe, $305,000 was what was allocated for it.
So there was a budget allocated and then the applications came in, or you had,
We have a budget number before we go into the applications.
before you go to the applications? And that budget number is just based on past petitions?
It's based upon what we funded in years past, and if the commission wants to increase that or decrease it. And we asked for that guidance from them in January.
Okay, and then just because I thought there might be like something more in writing, but I should have reviewed the agenda for the first two recommendations. This $40,000 single category, can you explain why that's necessary, or what? I understand it's to provide direction, but can you explain? I don't understand it.
Mr. Mayor, would you like me to?
Why is it
explain that?
40,000? Why isn't it 60,000? Why isn't it 100,000? Why isn't it 2,000?
Well, that's what we decided, so.
I mean, is it based on, like, in the past, people request this certain amount, or, I mean, it's just curious to me why there would be a specific amount.
So
I worked in government, so I worked under the Obama administration, and I learned a lot. And I learned that sometimes there's a specific amount put so that things can get whipped through really quick without public discussion. So that's my concern.
So everything that is, first of all, everything that is awarded or recommended for award for grant and aid goes through public discussion, public hearings at the grant and aid committee level and then before the city commission. That $40,000 package was a single initiative that an agency could apply for a capital investment that has never been able to be funded because of the magnitude of applications we receive from nonprofits. So there's roughly 45, I think, that we funded this year, and based upon the budget and the amounts that go out to those agencies in small dollar grants, that would eliminate 8 to 10 different agencies from receiving anything. So it is not something that has been feasible for the city to award in that category in years past.
So an agency, you said an agency, before you said nonprofits.
Nonprofit agencies.
Oh, okay. Because that threw me off. I thought you were talking about government agencies. So nonprofit organizations can request any amount.
No,
and this
there's
is
thresholds within
there's
the
thresholds.
application package that they can.
Okay, so this is like a max threshold?
Yes.
Okay, excuse me. Okay, great. And what was the highest that we've ever awarded as a city?
$45,000 to
Okay,
the
sorry.
Boys and Girls Club, which is one of those legacy agencies that I mentioned that we've funded for the past probably 30 years now.
And do we think it's just going to be presumed that everyone's going to want to continue for the last 30, 40 years funding the same people?
Well, that's up to the commission.
Is it just a commission? It doesn't come to public debate?
That's who makes the vote on it.
We decide.
But anybody can apply.
Anybody can apply.
Anybody can apply, so I can create a nonprofit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
anybody
Thank you.
can apply.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? All right, I'll close the public hearing, reopen the city commission meeting. Is there any discussion, questions, concerns? All those in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed by the same sign. We have adopted some revisions to the grant and aid application.
Mr. Mayor, we will let the commission know probably in the first meeting in January, the dates of those training sessions for those that want to apply.
Okay, all right. Commissioner Liaison reports. Commissioner Dantzler.
Okay, attended an electric vehicle show out at Lake Ashton and made some comments out there, and I'm pretty amazed at how many people showed up to look at all the EVs. I think they wanted to see mine too, so that was kind of a fun little thing to do on Friday. Went to the Haines City Davenport Polk Community College ribbon cutting, groundbreaking. I'll tell you one thing, Polk knows how to put on around a groundbreaking. That was a fun day, very well attended. Also attended the Give Well Foundation party. They had a little fundraiser for out of Adams Estate, and we had a couple commissioners there, and I'll let them talk about it as well. But Give Well Foundation was grateful to have a good crowd. We had a 1 hour continuing ed, something for AHAC. What was I doing again? Yeah, training of some sort. So riveting, I tell you, just riveting. But very good, very enjoyable. Learned a couple things though, but can't remember what they were right now. So did some interviews. We all know about that for ABC and Fox and whatnot on TV. Also went to the Ridge League of Dinners over at Nora Mayo. Good job by staff for pulling that all together. And last but not least, everybody knows I'm wearing my gator tie here. So, last year when I offered to, call off the bet, that was met with a much muted response. And this year I was going to make, in an effort of being, goodwill, offer Mr. Yates the opportunity to wear this prior to the game. If he has a committee meeting or maybe a loan review committee, if he wants to go ahead and get it over with, I'll let you have this tonight. You can take it home or.
I think we're gonna pull it out.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see. That's it for me, Mr. Mayor.
All right. Commissioner Mercer.
Okay, I attended the Parks and Rec Cultural Master Planning Public Meeting at Willowbrook, and it was a very nice laid-out master plan. You got to pick and choose and vote and do all kinds of things. And also attended the Ridge League in Winter Haven, and that was very nice and it was nice to be able to get through the lines really fast and a lot quicker. So they did a great job in doing that. And then I attended the Hartford Winter Haven Vision Banquet. And that was different than it's been in the past. And I'm really glad they had 3 people speak. And it went to what Hartford Winter Haven does and why they do what they do. And these 3 people have come from, I guess, a place and have gotten housing now. They have done their courses they're supposed to do, the faith and finance, and so it's really working out.
That's it.
That's it.
Mayor Pro Tem Yates.
I attended a few things. Attended the Main Street Winter Haven board meeting, and if you've been wondering why there's grown men running around downtown Winter Haven wearing kilts. That's to hang up the garland around downtown Winter Haven to get things looking a little bit more Christmassy. But Main Street continues to do a wonderful job in our downtown. Ridge League of Cities dinner in Winter Haven, I think we were well represented. We missed the lead, I think, by 1 or maybe 2. But still, I think we had a great speaker there, and it was a great event to have a few weeks after the original was scheduled from the hurricane. And then finally also attended the groundbreaking as well, and that's going to be, Polk State is now kind of got all the corners covered. They're in Lakeland, their main campus here in Winter Haven, and now being out there on Highway 27. That's going to be great for our, I was going to say our kids, but really it's anybody and everybody to continue their education, and they can get a good quality education right here in Polk County. There is no need to go to Gainesville or anywhere else. So.
Why are you bitching?
That slipped. Sorry.
Not everybody can get in, Brian, we know. It's just, got to have alternatives for everybody. Not everybody gets a yes.
Anywho, Polk State's doing a wonderful job, so kudos to them, and that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Had several things. I attended the Polk State groundbreaking. We had a PRWC meeting, addressed the Cub and Boy Scouts. One of the things that I really enjoyed was having breakfast with veterans over at Lake Howard Heights. And the food was good and the conversation was even better. Very seldom do you get a chance to sit and have breakfast with people that are over 95 years of age. I mean, that just doesn't happen because usually people that's that old can't carry on a conversation sometimes. But these veterans and other folks, they talked the whole while. I didn't get a chance hardly to say anything. No. I'm telling you, y'all know how well I like to talk, but I didn't get a chance to talk. And the one veteran that I spoke with knew my former boss at Coca-Cola because he was in the citrus business. And so he knew all about, I mean, he was telling me all about the citrus and what happened to him and his family. And so I really enjoyed the conversation and the food. I went to the GiveWell Foundation reception, went to the Ridge League of Cities, gave the welcome and sat through that. And I also went to Angels Among Us, that Girls Inc. So I did double duty that night. I miss you. And then my final thing was we did a cookout. We cooked lunch, my fraternity and us, for the senior citizens at the Neighborhood Service Center. And so I really enjoyed that. We did barbecue chicken and beans and hot dogs and hamburgers. It was all good. And I'm looking forward, and you all are coming tomorrow, right, for the Thanksgiving dinner?
What's that?
The Thanksgiving dinner at the Neighborhood Service Center.
I don't have that on my calendar.
Put it on your calendar, because the seniors be looking forward to us showing up.
What time?
It's at 12 noon, I think it is. I'm certain of it, 12 noon. So come at 11:45. Food will be great. All right, that's it for me. City Attorney?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Commission, I have nothing other than to wish everyone a very nice and happy and healthy Thanksgiving holiday. Thank you.
Thank you, City Manager.
Nothing this evening, other than to say, go Knowles.
Goodness.
Nothing this evening, sir.
All right. Deputy City Clerk?
Just want to tell Commissioner Mercer an early happy birthday, and I want to wish everyone and their families a happy Thanksgiving on behalf of the City Clerk's office.
All right, thank you. Oh, happy birthday. Today is your birthday?
No, Wednesday.
This coming Wednesday? All right, all right, all right. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Emergency matters not received for the agenda. Just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Be safe and return back so that we can continue to do this. Motion to adjourn.
So move.
We are adjourned.